What is up? Matt Pratt here. Yes, ruining that cinematic intro. Music was starting to build. Man, this is getting good. Bam, my face. Anyways, we got a new project today that I'm working on. If you haven't seen from that little intro, something a little different, out of character for me. I don't usually mess with modern muscle cars. I would, but just don't really interest me. It should be fun to build though. Let's go check it out. All right, we got a 2017 Corvette. I don't know what kind of Corvette. I look at these wheels, it's probably the base model edition. But as you can see, it's wrecked. It's wrecked pretty bad. We can go over this damage in a little bit. But the cool part about this is that the car was actually purchased wrecked and it has a clean title. In fact, if you guys know about cars, this wreck isn't too bad. Our rails are actually fairly straight and there's no other body panels on this side that are damaged. And if you want to come over here and look at these panels, apron damage, I mean the door might be salvageable. We got some cracks here. The quarter panel could be salvageable, you know, the rear bumper possibly salvageable, so really not that bad of damage. And a friend of mine actually picked up this car, clean title, you know, 2017 Corvette with only 20-some thousand miles on it for a really cheap price. What he wants us to do is take it apart, fix it, and put it back together like it was never even wrecked. So we're hoping parts wise, maybe we'll have 10 grand in parts. And I mean, this car used is about a $40,000 car minimum. So if you think about it, he's gonna have a lot of equity in this car, and hopefully I can persuade him to do some other things like wheels, maybe a lift kit and a wing. But who knows, this build could get expensive. We have no clue until we take apart this quarter panel and bumper and we really get into the nitty-gritty hidden damage of this car. We don't know if we have a good buy or not, so kind of interesting. A lot of times with builds like this, you really gamble big time. So I actually got Jake here to help me out with the build. This is one we want to tag team together. Jake actually works with me and he is such a hustler. He's one of the few people that I can trust to stick with me with this build, and he only lives like 10 minutes down the street. So anyways, first step we got to do on this thing is take this thing apart and let's get realistic about what it's going to take to fix it. After that, we can go over some parts that we already have. So here's something I noticed. This entire tub has a huge crack in it. If you think about it, that's the whole center of the car. But according to repair procedures, and we're gonna double check them, we're allowed to repair that. So cross our fingers that we don't take this quarter panel off and it gets way worse. The tub here, which we knew the crack up here, but this is pretty damaged. But looking at this, we'll have to check repair procedures. So next step is to get the quarter panel off of it and get the rocker so we can see what kind of damage we're looking at under here. So Jake usually is really good at taking the cars apart. Kind of suck at it. In fact, all the side work that we do here probably looks like a lot right now. I actually have him come over all the time and take the cars apart for me. I repair them and paint them. Sometimes he repairs them too. So definitely on an intricate car like this, when he's taking the quarter panel off with little T-bolts, I want him to focus on memorizing how this thing goes together. How smart he is? I'm not this smart. He doesn't even show up on camera. He actually was an estimator at my work for the longest time. We've been working together for 20 years. So he knows how to take apart these cars properly, how to order the parts for them and everything. Big key to making one of these jobs go smooth, which there's no way this job is gonna go smooth, but it'll go smoother with you, so, because of stuff like that. Look at that, you're already fixed, man. Look, put a couple self-tappers in there, and some duct tape. Yeah.
Gorilla tape.
Yes, because it's black.
Gorilla tape, exactly.
Yep. Self-tapper there, good to go. So, let me remind you guys, this is our first time ever taking apart a Corvette. We know these pieces are replaceable, but they got some serious glue in there. You can kind of see it poking out a little bit, which kind of sucks because we can't take it apart to repair it. It just needs a repair right here. You can see these cracks that are going on here. The good thing is this thing is pretty stout on here. I'm pretty sure that I can just grind these down and repair the fiberglass from the outside. Most of fiberglass repairs, you want to repair them on the back and front, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that I can just grind this down and redo the fiberglass on the outside and we'll still be okay. Next step is we gotta take this door apart, but I think we gotta take this door off, but I think before we take the door off, we're gonna take it apart just to see what we got going on in there. We got this car, it never had a glass, and if you listen here, I mean, it sounds like we got some glass in there, so I'm pretty sure the window is broke on the inside. So got to bust this thing apart and see what it looks like on the inside. Shine a flashlight in there, see all that glass in there. Hey, that's the window. Alright, Jake got the door panel off, but we're gonna leave the door on there just because I want to be able to put this thing outside and keep it weather tight. And yeah, so the door is actually pretty structural. It doesn't move or anything like that. A lot of cosmetic repairs. Nothing major. It doesn't make any cracking noises when you twist it or anything. It actually feels pretty good. It does have some damage on the inside of here, but it's almost cosmetic also. Sand it down, fill it, and prime it. And then we can just paint these things inside and out when we're ready to paint the rest of the panels. We were actually looking to purchase a door for it, but I don't think we're gonna need one. I think a lot of this can be salvaged. Even the mirror looked pretty bad. I just look at this if I was repairing this for myself, you know? And this probably looks bad, but it's actually not that bad. I think I'm gonna repair that also. I mean, a mirror was like $100 and a used door was like $500. So. Alright, these are the parts that we're going to start with at first. They were kind of purchased a little bit after purchasing the car. This fender obviously looks brand new. These are kind of used. It looks like they repaired that. Oh, it's got the little bumper bracket.
Got the bracket on.
Yeah. These are some parts that we actually purchased from work. It's like hood hinges and stuff like that. I actually have a hood and a front bumper for this thing that I got to pick up. And here's an important part. This apron. That is going to be the goal today. Well, we're going to try today is to get this entire area taken apart and get the apron on there and glued so we can let it sit overnight. And then we can start mounting other parts on here. All right. Seems like we're moving pretty fast. We're got a long ways to go. Actually looks pretty good. It's just sitting here. We can see where the old glue was at and we can line it up. Jake marked it a couple places, like right here. He marked it right there so we know where to put that. This is where your computer goes, right here. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. He undid a couple bolts and it fell like right out. Already looks like a complete car. This is probably going to be the most progress I've ever gotten done in the first video. I didn't really do much. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it lines up pretty good. There's a lot of adjustability in that fender.
That's good.
Yes, it is.
So we don't have the hood here, so we're kind of playing a risk of fitting it up without the hood. I've done that before with my Supra and had to force my hood into fitment. But we're looking at this and I mean, we have a lot of play in these gaps. I mean, you can see this isn't even a hole. It's like shaped like a tic tac, so you can slide the panel in and out, so you can really control your gaps. You kind of have to do that with Corvettes because they're all made of fiberglass and they all move and everything like that, so they got really good adjustment. I feel pretty confident with just kind of putting it together like this, and when we get the hood, we'll have enough room and play to adjust the whole front end so all the gaps are even. All right, we got this sucker clamped on here. We're gonna let this sit for at least a day. I think we have time to let it sit a day. Got the door panel and everything off, the quarter panel off. Jake is actually gonna take the bumper home because, believe it or not, I know this looks horrible, but we're gonna actually try to save it because this bumper is a couple $1,000s. I mean, I've saved much worse personally for myself or someone else. I don't know, we're gonna have to see, but we think we can heat it up, reshape it, and just do a really good plastic repair on here that isn't gonna fail later down the road. But anyways, we're at least gonna try it first and see how it goes, because it is definitely worth a few hours to save this than spending a couple $1,000s on a whole rear bumper. But anyways, he's gonna take this all home so he can work on it, and hopefully when he brings it back, we'll be fitting it right up. We still have a lot more to do on this car, but I think I'm gonna end the video here. Today we tore the whole car down, got this apron set in place, and I think the next step is to start working on this rear tub. I can start fixing all this, because then we can get the quarter panel set in place. We'll be in good shape. So anyways, I'm ending the video here. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, like, all that cool stuff, and quit watching me and go work on something of your own. I'll see y'all next video.